All right, we're going live here. We're at Jefferson Barracks Park in South St. Louis County. We're at the black... Oh, let me turn the lens around, I'm sorry. This is DM666, full legal name David Brian Mueller, from David Brian Mueller Publishing in Columbia, Illinois, 99 North Briegel, 622-36-1311-618-304-6284. A beautiful day here in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Let me turn the camera around. Just gorgeous day. You know, you only get a few days like this every year. There's maybe about 20 days like this where the temperatures are just perfect. No wind, low humidity, clear skies. Just an absolutely spectacular day. I mean, if you have the opportunity to get outside, this is the day to do it. This August 8th, 2017. This is one of those rare days of the year. Like I said, maybe you get 20 of these days a year if you're lucky. Maybe only 10, where the conditions are just perfect for outdoor activity. Bicycling, picnicking, hiking, anything of that sort. Ideal conditions right now in the St. Louis metropolitan area. Mild temperatures, low humidity, not very many bugs out or nothing either. It's very pleasant. Almost just a very slight breeze once in a while. Very nice conditions, wonderful conditions for outdoor activities. So I'm out here, I'm gonna try to set up a little music thing here again. I got the gang here. We got Minnie Mouse here. Of course, we got Pax Romana. We got the Pink Bunnies. We've got our bouncer, Natasha. We got who? I don't know what's your name. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to get that alien dictionary or translator. Oh, we got a shark here too. We got a shark now with us. We got a nice shark there. Got the gang here. We're ready to go. We got the Taylor guitar, of course, I play. This Taylor GS Mini. A wonderful guitar I bought a couple years ago. It's really nice for this sort of thing. And it was affordably priced. You know, so you're not afraid to bring it to a place like this. You know, you see, if you're going to spend $5,000 on a Taylor, you're going to be kind of leery about bringing it out here, and where it might get damaged or scratched. Where this here one is a tenth of that cost. You know, so if that happens, then you won't cry too hard. It's also a nice small scale guitar, so it's easy to handle, real lightweight, real comfortable when you put the strap on and put it on you, real comfortable. If you had children that were taking up a guitar, I think this would be a good starter guitar right here, this Taylor GS Mini. Yeah, I'm not connected with them in any way, I'm just saying that because I own one, I like it. Now, there were some nice Martins too. The day I bought this, I purchased this, I tried some Martins. They're almost equally nice, I think. They're pretty good too. There's and several other brands in that price range. This is like the typically about $500–600 price range for this sort of guitar. Brand new. We got rosewood fretboard. We got. It's actually the body is, it's actually a laminate. It looks like it's fully wood, but it's not. It's actually a coated on it, but it's still pretty good though. It's still really good. It has really good tonal qualities. It projects real well, this guitar. I've been real satisfied with it. And it keeps in tune very well. The tuning is excellent. The intonation is right on spot still, pretty much. It's got electronics, so you can plug it into an amplifier. Here, right here, there's a hole for a 1/4-inch jack. And inside of here is electronics, so you can hook up to a powered mixer or a small amplifier if desired. It's great for that. You can use it in a studio then, and which I do use it in my studio mixes. at David Bryan Mueller Publishing in Columbia, Illinois. Now today, I've been having all these difficulties getting my streams to go out in high def, to reach YouTube still in high def condition. Because some of them have been getting there and they're only 240p. It's very distressing because I'm a real perfectionist about that kind of thing. I get so upset by it. They were coming in at 240p and they were coming in with mono audio at 22 kilohertz. 22.05 kilohertz, where I'd specified to be, I think I had at least at 48, because I'm doing video. Usually with video work, you have at 48. Now, if you were doing strictly, if you were producing CDs, producing an audio track for CDs, you would typically use 44.1 as the industry standard. It has been for years. But I really wish they would change that, because so many things are going to video now that 48 should really be the standard, because everything is leaning in the direction of video. Another aggravation is the issue of the 29.97 seconds frames per second versus 30 frames per second. That a lot of people don't know to sort that out. I stopped bothering. I used to try to do it to keep your audio and video in sync. That actually most camera manufacturers, the cameras are not 30 frames per second. They're 29.97. And this goes back to the days of color television, when they introduced color television, that to carry the color signal, something of the sort that they used that little 300ths or whatever to carry that signal. That's why there was this difference in the frame rate. Going back 50, 60 years, this happened ago. I wish they would change all that. Just make it 30, finally, and simplify that. But typically the industry standard is still 29.97, or if you're going higher than that, 58, or whatever it translates to, twice that. If you're doing 60 frames per second type stuff. But when I was working with like Reaper and Samplitude, these various digital audio workstations, it can be real frustrating trying to sort that out. If you're getting video that's associated with audio associated with video, it can be a technical challenge to get that stuff straight so you have your audio and video in perfect sync. Because if you get it wrong, you're gonna have them out of sync. People's lips are gonna be moving and the sound will come out a second later or something. It's gonna look funny. That's how that happens. Audio video sync issues, because the frame rate of the video is incorrectly being applied relative to the audio. And like I said, for years, the industry standard in the United States has been 29.97. In Europe, it's 25. It's 24.98, I believe. When you're using PAL systems, PAL systems. Well, ours were based on, what do they call that? Oh, no, I just had another brain freeze of what they call the system here in the United States. But it's the one that has 29.97 frames per second as the standard. But we don't go into all that technical talk. I'm going to just try to set up here, though. See what I can do here. Get my guitar tuned up. Somewhere I got a selfie stick I want to put this camera on. See if we can get going here. I've been starting to include like little music lessons in my videos. I thought, why not? Out here with a guitar and stuff. I've played for many years and know some about music theory and stuff. And although I've never, now I have a master's degree in sociology, so I've got college diplomas too, but I've never actually studied to be an educator or nothing like that. So I'm not saying that this is official music lessons or nothing. Just sharing knowledge I have. or trying to. Sometimes they'd all be fuddled. Like, for example, I'll be describing a particular scale, and I'll accidentally say something wrong, and I'll be all upset about when I edit my video and I have to write underneath it what went wrong, what the correct thing I should have said was, and all that. I usually get it all sorted out though in the end, where I get the accurate information in there. Be sure to read them. If you want the accurate information, be sure to read the text after I edit it. It might take me a day or two to get it all together, and you'll see the text that I put in there when I edit it. They'll explain that. For example, the last time I think I was describing it, an E minor natural scale, and I was showing an example of playing my guitar, and I had accidentally started playing the E minor harmonic scale, which would be confusing to a new student, you know, it's just learning this stuff. Because actually minor scales, there's several varieties of them. That really confuses students, I think, in the beginning. Where major scales are just the major scale, but these minor scales are several varieties of them actually, traditionally. One is the harmonic minor scale. But what you usually mean when you say a minor scale, a minor key, is the natural minor scale. And it's relative, it's always relative to another note. That's, for example, with E minor, it's G. It's relative to G major. Or in the key of C, for example, A minor is the relative minor key to C major. If you know music theory, this sort of thing. And it sounds complicated, but once you get the nuts and bolts, it's really not that hard once you start getting some of the concepts grasped and stuff. I think most people can come to appreciate what it means and everything eventually. They put in a little effort. Look at, there's so many resources available nowadays. I sure wish this was all available when I was younger. All this information on the internet. If you want to learn stuff like that. There used to be, you had to take classes at school and you had to go to the library and all that. But no more. You can do it right there from your bedroom now. You get all the info you need about all kinds of stuff. See if I can get this on a selfie stick without breaking it. Hopefully. Let's see here. We got selfie stick, gizmo here. We're gonna try to get on there. That's the one bad thing about these smartphones, is they sure don't give much thought to how to put them on a tripod and stuff. They sure don't have very nice tripods for them or systems like that, like they always had for video cameras. You know, 10 or 20 years ago, where they had real nice tripods, sturdy, steady things that you could trust to put your expensive equipment on. Where nowadays, they're pretty haphazard. This thing is pretty haphazard. You're supposed to clip this into here and possibly, well, I'm afraid it could possibly damage your device. You know, if it's kind of haphazard to do this like this. I wish there was another option. I mean, there are, but readily available other option that would be included with the device when you buy it. Because they have these weird contraptions like this for these smartphones that can be problematic to get set up right. Let's try it. Especially these ultra thin phones like this, and trying to do all this with just your two hands without breaking anything, without dropping. See right there, right away when I did this, it just hit it hit screen commands where it's want to power off now because I actually hit a button there. So I gotta try to hit the cancel of that. There we go. No, we're not wanting to power off yet. Now we've got on there. On the selfie stick, I gotta be very careful because it's just fallen off there before. You don't want that to happen. And smash the $800 device or anything. That wouldn't be fun. And then the selfie stick, there's no way to set this down. Why doesn't it have a platform or something you would put it on? The manufacturer apparently isn't very thoughtful of that. There's no way to set this down. This is just a stick. If I set this down, it's going to fall over. So I have to find some way to rig up a thing to set it in so it won't do that. Here's an idea. Maybe this Coca-Cola bottle will work. Even though it's got soda in it, we'll go ahead and risk it. Contaminate it with the handle, just so we don't damage our unit here. Yeah, this might work. And it's just as long as we don't get soda, because there's so soda in there, I don't want to waste the soda. Let's see if this will work. It may work real well, it looks like. And with the soda in it, of course, it's got weight in it, so the wind won't knock it over as easily. It's not real stable, though. I noticed right away, it's not an ideal situation with it. It's kind of working. Not as well as I had hoped. Now if I carefully try to pick this up and move it out here, so I have it more where I'm going to be, I don't know if that's going to work out or not. And I was just afraid it'll flop out of there suddenly. And of course, once I leave where I'm at, then I won't see the screen. So I don't know what it's actually doing there, what's capturing at that point. Let's try to stabilize this thing. Because right now it's spinning loosely. There's a knob here I can turn to prevent that behavior. Several knobs. Don't really want it doing that. It's not tilted quite enough. You tilt it back a tiny bit, but not too much so it flops over then. If you tilt too much, it's going to flop over and break the thing. And break the screen on the concrete. I don't want that. Now the wind is blowing it. This is very far. Now the wind just blowed it to the side of there. Where I did not touch it and it moved because the wind moved it. Which is a dangerous situation. If you don't want to damage your equipment.
I told you we should never brought our phones, bro. How's our phones going in there? I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Let's see now. Yeah, I noticed that I'm not quite level either. That's because something in this soda bottle that's not, the thing isn't laying in it perfectly perpendicular like I'd like it to, but just trying to make the best of what I got so I don't have to stand there holding the camera the whole time. As I said, why didn't the smartphone manufacturers have, like, all your video cameras, surely they could put that little screw thing in there you put on a tripod. I don't know why it doesn't have that feature, but except that they want it real thin, of course. But then that would affect the thickness of it. But there must be, I mean, couldn't they modify them to make them have some kind of modification of that kind of system? It would be much better than this, because this is very haphazard like this. You have to be really afraid that your thing's going to flop over like this. Trying to do it like in these improvised kind of things here, like I'm doing. So it does look like it, like if somebody was sitting there on that picnic bench, it would capture them, I think, correctly. Because once I get over there, I won't know what it's actually capturing, how much the scene is capturing. I'm going to assume looking at it, I think it'll capture, like if I sit to the side of that guitar case, move that wire over a little bit, I think it'll be all right for me. Of course, I just realized now though, that I'm not on my charger. I'm going to try to see if I can bring that wire over here so I can have it on the charger, because otherwise the battery will be draining as I'm doing this. I don't want to drain my battery as I'm going along So we had to cut it out because the battery went dead. And the cable was only this long, you see? So, so now we had to move it in much closer, I realized. If we want it hooked to the power cable, see what we can do here. Maybe over here. We watch the pretty sunset back there. It's gonna be pretty soon, for a while. Of course, now I'm gonna have this wire stretched across here. It could be a hazard. We hope no accident occurs because of that, because now I'm gonna have this wire stretching here. Not walk into it. Not have somebody else that doesn't know it's there come up here and walk into it. Have to keep a lookout for that and anticipate it before it happens. Oh, now it doesn't want to go in there. Let's get in the, there it is. There it is. We got the charger in there. But now that's yanking on it. Now they put the charger on, it's yanking it to the side where it doesn't want to stay where I had it. Oh boy. There's always so many frustrations. Trying to improvise this. We'll get there eventually though, I think. Hopefully next summer we'll have it all worked out. Hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll figure this all out. You get some good videos for the fall at least maybe or something. Here, let's put it up here once. And hope that, see how it wants to keep twisting. I guess I have to sit on that side or something. Or over there. I guess that's where it wants to point. So I better just go with the flow, what it's doing there for now. Let's go see what we do, because at least it's stable right now. It shouldn't fall over, I don't think. Here, maybe I can even put it up here. Might be better. But now it's up on a table, so if it does fall, might fall several feet, you know, and crash on the ground. We don't want that. There we go. Now we can watch the sunset on it. So we have that view at least. And let's see. There we are. Oh, now here's another issue that I forgot about. I'm wanting to use backing tracks when I play the music. Is the device going to be capable of doing that? Of playing the backing track while it's streaming the video? That's going to really demand some resources. If I'm playing audio tracks in one application while it's live streaming high definition video, is that going to work out? It might, I'm not sure yet. I haven't tried it yet. We'll have to see. Also, I have to be careful that I don't use up the capacity of the cell phone if it's storing this locally. I'm not sure if it's doing that or not. Recently, I arranged to get some cloud storage. I don't know if it could be sending it to that instead while I'm doing that. I haven't figured that out yet, how to set that all up to do that. Would be the alternative, so that doesn't happen. So we're going to use the entire capacity of the. But it would take a lot. It would take, I think, several hours to do that, even at high def frame rates and stuff. Given that you have gigabytes of storage available here, that shouldn't be an issue. Too bad. Technically challenging though. We're trying to get this to work out right. We're getting there slowly. And we'll get it eventually. We'll have it. my guitar strap on here. I'm hoping it's in tune already. That I don't want to turn on a tuner because then that's on the tuner's on the smartphone. Then I'll have to move it. Like I said, if I use the backing track, I'll have to do that. I'll have to go over and start another application. I think it might temporarily stop the stream if I do that, but I think it comes back on, is what happened earlier when I did something similar to that. Pretty much in tune. That's good, that's good. We got to... Let's see, you know. Some equipment here over here. Alright. My cable out here, I use that for some songs. Cables are always handy. Let's warm up a little bit. That's very quiet. I don't know if you can hear it well. Classical guitar music tends to be like that. At least I got a steel string guitar, so it's got some volume to it. Nylon string guitar is even softer usually. I'm hoping that the camera's mic. The camera's mic seems very sensitive. I'll say that. You know, to meet the high definition specs, they have to be that way. They use pretty high quality stuff for that to meet those specifications. Also, this is what we did last time. We're doing this Francisco Tarrega study in E minor that many guitar students might be familiar with. He lived about 100 years ago. I don't know the exact dates right. I don't have them right in front of me. Francisco Tarrega. He's one of the noted composers of guitar music from the 1800s, turn of the century era. Francisco Tarrega, study in E minor, which I was explaining last time. Now let's get this straight though. Scale of E minor, key minor with one sharp, F sharp. It's relative to the key of G major, the scale of E minor. E minor natural scale. It's the E minor natural scale he's basing the study on. That scale is E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and E again. It repeats up and down the neck. There's the one sharp there, F sharp. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. I'm plucking the top string then the 5th string, and then the 4th string. To do this, I'm doing 3 notes on the top string, 3 notes on the 5th string, and 2 notes on the 4th string. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. This is the E minor natural scale. And then Francisco Tarrega notated out a study using this scale about 100 years ago or so. Maybe 120, I'm not sure exactly when, because I don't have the figures right in front of me. But roughly then. So the piece, now I'm using a thumb pick. A lot of this classical music, that's a good thing to have. You know, now most modern guitarists, they use the flat pegging method. But a few years back, I started going with these thumb picks because I noticed that looking at historical films, reference films, I noticed that many guitarists that I admired used them. So it got me interested in them. I went out and bought some. And it took a while to get used to, but now I'm getting pretty used to it. And it facilitates, when you're playing classical guitar, it's generally plucked with your fingers. It's not strummed with a flat pick. That you pluck each note individually with fingers. Is the ideal way to do it. So you can sound multiple notes at once. You can have polyphony doing that. Have melody and harmony lines going together at the same time. So you can do all kinds of wonderful things with a guitar. You couldn't do with a single note instrument like a trumpet or something. That sort of, no one can play one note at a time. You can do that with a guitar and a piano and that sort of thing, because you can play multiple notes. But when you're using a flat pick, you play multiple notes. You're typically playing a chord, like an E minor chord, which is, here's one formation for the E minor chord. We have your middle fingers on the 5th string, the A string, on the 2nd fret. First finger, index finger, left hand, it's on the 2nd fret on the D string, the 4th string. The other strings are held open. E minor. One of the easiest chords to learn on guitar, E minor chord. It's used in many songs, the E minor chord. There's a nice sound to it. It's a little bit dark sounding. Minor chords often are. The minor scales often have a darker sound, many people find, than the major scales, which are brighter in many people's minds. So there it is, E minor chord. Here's the scale of E minor natural. See how that's harmonious with that chord. So if you write a melody line, so that chord, you're going to write it on a scale will be harmonious to one another. That's how these keys work, these musical keys. That's what the magic of them is. That when you just look at this, there's also an E major chord where this G is sharp. It changes everything. And the E, and it has several other sharp notes in the E major scale. It changes everything then. So you this and well, actually it works in that case, but in some cases it won't be as harmonious then. Unfortunately, I picked the example where it kind of was, but we'll go on. I don't want to get all hung up on that right now. E minor chord, study in E minor, Francisco Tarrega, very esteemed guitar player from the previous centuries, about 100 years ago or so. He's grouped with the classical guitar players. He was kind of on the edge of the Romantic period too. If you study these periods in his, in art history, music history, he kind of straddled the classical and the Romantic eras. and he even lived into the 20th century, I believe. I believe he died early in the 20th century. Sometimes I fudge a little bit at that point. It's okay. Everybody makes a mistake once in a while. Just try to pick up from where you did. Carry on. I usually don't, though. I usually get all frustrated. Follow and stop. Everybody knows. Anyway, there we have Francisco Tarrega studying E minor. Good piece for students is taking up the guitar. It's, well, it is somewhat challenging, some of the fingerings in it. But it's not as difficult as some pieces could be if you're just starting. I think Mario Giuliani, he has some nice pieces for beginners too. And oh, who's the fellow? Now I'm having the brain freeze again. The fellow that I did some videos about a year or two ago on this other classical guitar player where he wrote method books that are still used today. And now the name escapes you. I'll get that back to you maybe next time or later when I get home. I was talking about last time how these memory, these brain freezes, these memory, various theories about this, how Sigmund Freud had these theories that if something's associated with an idea that the superego finds repugnant, that then you'll forget this thing because it's censoring the thought, because you associate it with some guilty thing or something, or fearful thing, something that makes you feel fearful or guilty you're associating with. Maybe it sounds like that word similar to that, or it's a homonym, or maybe it is that word, whatever. That's why you forget things. Your subconscious mind is associating with some trauma like that, traumatic, or I mean, some kind of disturbing thought like that, to the superego's standards of right thought and right conduct and right behavior and all that. So it censors the thought, and then you can't remember that thing then. One theory on this, which I think in some cases may have some validity. That I've studied myself, I think it may have some validity sometimes. It seemed that may be the case when I thought about things later in retrospect. You know, the video is probably a half hour long now or so. It's probably getting close. I think I'm going to shut it down for now, though. Maybe take it up again later. Maybe it'll be tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm still experimenting with streaming. I tried to stream from my studio earlier at home using my desktop computer. And I had some difficulties there where things were not going well. It's technically challenging. It's all new to me. It's new to everybody, I guess. A lot of people, anyway. But I'll try to eventually be more organized here, more have it all ready when I turn on, and not have to spend so much time setting up and all this and explaining things to you like that. So thanks for listening or watching, etc. Have a wonderful evening. Bye. DM666, full legal name, David Brian Mueller. David Mueller 666 of David Brian Mueller Publishing, 989 North Briegel, Columbia, Illinois, 618-304-6284. Signing out. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, come here, selfie stick. Oh.